All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the Windy City. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series heads to Chicagoland Speedway tonight. It's race number 8 in that season number 3 of 2021. 98 laps from a very fun 1.5 mile track. It's a cookie cutter, sort of. It's Chicagoland, and it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Who's going to take home the victory? It's the one who can save tires. And it's all going to be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the Windy City tonight hosts the Xfinity Series, the Buschwackers Friday Night Series. It's all going to be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Thanks for coming in, and let's get this bad boy going. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here tonight and joining us on TurnLeftTV. So right now, these guys are in the qualification session. We're having a little trouble here getting our timing to show up on the screen tonight. It's rFactor 2. What do you expect? We'll take a look at the track here at Chicagoland Speedway. 1.5 miles in length. I hesitate to really call this a cookie cutter, to be honest with you. It's really a little bit different than those other ones. I think it's I don't know, it's a little, I don't think the tri-oval area is quite as significant as like what you'd see like at a Charlotte, for example, or a Texas or Las Vegas. It's probably a little bit more similar to what you'd see at Las Vegas than the other two. So banking in the turns at 18 degrees, banking down the front stretch at 11 degrees, and down the back stretch at 5 degrees. So tough on tires, man, really is. And but it should be a fun one here tonight. Look at that, man. We got this crazy crap going on right there, huh? Tried to fix it. That didn't work. Yeah, really not wanting to show our overlays tonight. That's a lovely little addition to the broadcast, but it's always something with this game, man. I'll be honest with you. Anybody who knows rFactor 2 knows exactly what's going on. I want to say, hey, thanks so much for coming in and joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. And It's going to be another one of those fun broadcasts here. We've got a little bit of shenanigans going on behind the scenes, but thanks so much for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up button and let me know you were here. And don't forget to share my videos with all your friends. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. That way you'll get updates when races are going live. When we have videos uploaded, and if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, click on that donate button up in the banner of the channel, and also in the description of this channel, got a link over to the Fanatec website if you'd like to cruise on over there and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. But hey, thanks so much for coming in, and it should be a fun one. See if we can't get our alternate overlay up here, just in case there's some shenanigans going on. So that appears that to be the case. So it looks like Claudio Bardelli Jr. is the top qualifier here so far. Actually, looks like he got DQ'd. Maybe went too many laps there. We got a big one coming up for you tomorrow night at Road Atlanta, the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. I should say tomorrow afternoon here in the United States. So 50-minute race there on August the 7th, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be live right here on TurnLeft TV. It's Road Atlanta and the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. been restored to his position there. Looks like Luca might have gotten DQ'd as well. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be at Watkins Glen for a little road course action. 35 laps, race number 6 of the season. That's the Saturday Night Thunder in the High Octane Racing League Cup Series. Should be a great one, man. Watkins Glen, fun track. The only road course, I believe, on the schedule this season. So could be a pivotal race there in the points championship. So it looks like I headed over to the warm-up session. We've got about 9 minutes in the warm-up session. And it does look like we will be using the this particular tower, unfortunately, tonight. For some reason, my overlays are not working on this particular machine. But what do you expect, man? Like I said, it's Studio 397, so... you know, I love this game, but it's really hard to understand how anybody who may be new to this game would want to stick with it, given the disaster that it can be sometimes. Givaldo Spindola joining us in here. Linares, Glenn Wilson, good to see him as well. Paulo Chachalauski's out on the track there. Paul Brown joining us in here in the chat session as well. Like to see him out on the track, but we understand schedules will permit that sometimes. Take a look at the side-by-side, and you see that it's actually working in that particular view there with on my other computer. It's actually working. So who knows what is going on with this bad boy. Take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers Series, where Chicagoland is race number 8. Next week we have Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 70 laps here in that great track, historic track there, the crown jewel of motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, coming up on August the 13th. And then finishing out the season at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 100 laps there on August the 20th, to crown the champion in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, solid server, come by and check out EliteHostingUSA.com. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, probably find you a regional server to fit your needs. That is EliteHostingUSA.com. Perfect for rFactor 2. Paulo Chachalowski joining us in here for the first time in a while. Good to see him out. It's like about 3.5 minutes or so left to go in the warm-up session. Hopefully sometime tonight we'll get those standard overlays working. For some reason, sudden stop working tonight. Must be out drinking. Let's try another view here. How about this? Javier Conti had a big win last week in the Daytona. Actually, it was a huge win for him and a very eventful race. There was some tempers flaring in that race, to say the least. We'll just kind of see if we can get the tower to work in this mode. Doesn't look like it is going to work tonight, so that's interesting. Turn that banner back on. There we go. Yeah, so we don't know what's going on, man. Like I said, the overlay's working just fine in the other computer, but for some reason on this one not working. So it is what it is. Got about 1.5 minutes left in the warm-up session before we get this bad boy going. Good thing I took the time on SimHub actually to make this overlay. This was sort of an intermediate overlay that I did until they got the official ones released. And once I went to the official one, we stopped using this one, but I always saved it just as a backup. See if we got the Buschwackers standings here, if we can come up with that. Not sure I've got that dialed in. I don't think I do. There's the website there, highoctaneracing.net. Since I don't have access to the standings, there we go. See, it's not going to show us the standings. Got about 30 seconds left before we get the command to start the engines. Escofil Sanfre joining us. Angry X 1521. And Flavio Roberto Orajo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Sanfre is rooting for the 94. Chachalowski fan there. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. It looks like we're ready to get this bad boy started. We've got 15 drivers joining us here tonight.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, tonight, Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start on the pole in the 91 car. 27, Preston Hassel starts second. Sean Jacobs will start in the third position in that 24. 13, Colin Mattiak starts in the fourth position. Jesus Iglesias starts in the fifth position in the 2X car. The 4 of Artur Vieira starts in sixth. Jim Willis starts in the seventh position in the 53 car. Chris Hughes in the 7 car starts in eighth. Gilmar Peixoto starts in the ninth position. Givallo Spindola, 68 car, starts in 10th. Christian Wilson starts in the 11th position in that 30 car. Reese Canaday in the 80 starts 12th. Lucas Simpfner starts in the 13th position. John Stanley starts in 14th. And Paulo Chachalowski, Team Cha-Cha, starts in 15th. Well, the keys to the race, we didn't do that one earlier, but the keys to the race tonight: save your tires, man. This thing can be a little tough on tires. It's deceptive, but it can be tough on tires. Pick your spots to pass. On-point pit stops. Pit stops are going to be huge. And find a friend to work with. Those are the keys to the race here tonight in the Buschwackers Series. Oh, you got 3 things to say again? Now.
Flag, go, go, go.
All right, here we go.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
And we're off, boys and girls. Here we go. 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Side by side with that 27 car. Preston Hassel up the track. They're going to be very, very careful not to smack that wall. They are tight, man. Colin Mattiak looked like he wants to follow Preston Hassel through. 13 to Colin Mattiak now moving to the high side. They might be 3 wide here before it's over with. Mattiak moving to the high side. 27, Preston Hassel, the race leader now, diving down to the inside line. Mattiak looking like he wants to get by the 13 and the 27, battling for position. Bardelli Jr., Sean Jacobs here side by side. 24, Sean Jacobs on the inside line is a 91. Claudio Bardelli Jr. up high. And Sean Jacobs in that Western Auto sponsor machine now taking that third position. Look at this, man. A little bit of a hornet's nest right here. 4 car of Artur Vieira. Jesus Iglesias running in 5th. Vieira up high in that high line there. The 53, Jim Willis, he's wanting to try to sneak through there with Jesus Iglesias. Vieira using that outside line. He is excellent at using that outside line there. Keep an eye on him. Jesus Iglesias has a fast machine there in that 2X car. Good little battle there. Looks like Iglesias is going to win that battle here early on, and Jim Willis is going to try to sneak through and take that spot from Artur Vieira. Artur Vieira, they're going to maybe try to go around on the high side here, getting another run on the high side. Got to be very careful. Don't want to get the right side damage to that machine. So they're getting a little racy here early on, trying to establish some track position. Track position is very, very important at this track. We go to Jim Willis here in that 53 car. On board here with him as he's following the 2X. Jesus Iglesias up high. Then you see Artur Vieira in that 4 car just ahead, down low. Jim Willis going to try to sneak through here on the bottom side. Iglesias up high, so got to be very careful here side by side early. Take a look at Reese Canaday here on the 80 car. He's been flirting around with that wall up on the high side there, so we got to keep an eye on that Hooters sponsor machine. Every time he makes contacts with the wall, that's free wings free Hooters wings for the crowd. Just kidding. Allegedly free wings for the crowd. 27 car. Preston Hassel continuing to set the pace there as Colin Mattiak in the 13 looking on that low side. You see dipping that car below the line there just a little bit. Not racing below the line. Can't get that car below the line there. Probably all right to flirt with it a little bit, but not get that whole car below the line. So even through the trial, we've got to stay above that white line. Good little battles going on right here. Take a look at this pass here. John Stanley in that 12 car getting by Reese Kennedy in the 80s. See Reese Kennedy up high there, and the 94 Paulo Chachalowski just ahead of John Stanley. Chachalowski goes to the high side, and John Stanley using that low side and getting by the 80 of Reese Kennedy. Jim Willis here starting to look a little racy. That 53 car, he's been kind of patient here, and he's starting to move this car forward. This Black Rifle Coffee Company number 53 Ford Mustang. Chevy Camaro. Sorry, Chevy guys. He's now running in the 5th position as Arthur Vieira now back to 6th. Look at this. Luca Simpner, Reese Kennedy here battling it out. Luca down on the bottom side in that 21 car. Reese Kennedy in the 80 up high now falls back to the 14th position. He's made a little contact with the wall there, so I suspect he's got a little bit of damage that he's dealing with. Yes, a good battle here now as Sean Jacobs in the 24 battling that 13 car. That 13 was pushing things a little bit hard there early on, and 24 maybe taking advantage of some little bit fresher tires. As remember, one of our keys to the race was to save those tires. Easier said than done, right? 24 now moving up to P2. 27, Preston Hassel, the race leader. 24, Sean Jacobs is in 2nd. 13, Colin Mattiak in 3rd. 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 4th position. But I'll tell you what, man, it is looking a little bit interesting as we take a look at Sean Jacobs had gotten around Preston Hassel there. We're running a little bit behind, but take a look at this battle here. Bardelli Jr. and also Jim Willis getting after it here. Jim Willis was looking down on that low side, and now 4 car of Arthur Vieira working on the high side, trying to get back by and pick up that 5th position. Jim Willis in P5, Arthur Vieira running in the 6th position. We've got about a 7-car breakaway. Chris Hughes, I haven't talked too much about him. He's running in P7 right now in that 7 car. And he's really shown a lot of talent here since coming on. He's one of our newer drivers and really showing some talent here. A lot of skill coming in here. You can tell he's got a lot of sim racing hours. How about this? Sean Jacobs starting to pressure that 27 car. Sean Jacobs getting by Preston Hassel, taking over P1. Preston Hassel now falling back there to the 2nd position. Chachalowski and John Stanley here getting after it. Chachalowski in the 94 car up high. John Stanley in the 12. These guys battling it out for the 10th position. Chachalowski up high there takes P10. Chachalowski now getting by Christian Wilson. Christian Wilson on that high side. He's fighting back though. Chachalowski got by there. Christian Wilson hanging on to that position for now. And they're starting to get a little messy up here. Actually looks like John Stanley trying to get by Chachalowski. We've got yellow cars everywhere, man. Oh, man, that got tight right there. Christian Wilson slid up the track. That got tight, and he does a great job of keeping that thing out of the wall. But, man, we got a cluster of cars right here. And Christian Wilson is in a hornet's nest right now. 30 car. Doing a great job of hanging on to that thing. Oh, he is flirting with that wall. He's scraping the wall right there. And, wow, man, once that thing starts skating up the track, it's hard to catch it. But he does a good job of not making that thing any worse. And now falling back there just a little bit to the 14th position. Look at this, a 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. now on the inside line here with a 27 car battling. Preston Hassel wants to try to sneak that car down below Bardelli Jr. And I don't know, Jim Willis right there, so battling there. Jesus Iglesias and Reese Kennedy battling it out. Reese Kennedy up on the high line. Maybe this high line's going to start to work a little bit. Reese Kennedy using that high line to make that pass on Jesus Iglesias. Good pass there for Reese Kennedy. Lucas Simpner looking to get around the 12 car. 21 car starting to move up. Now moving into the 9th position. John Stanley back to 10th. Christian Wilson and Jesus Iglesias and also Givaldo Spindola. 3 wide right here. Oh, they get it together. And that's what brings out the yellow flag. So Iglesias in the wall, it looked like. They were 3 wide. We'll see what happened here. So it looked like Iglesias just got into the wall there. They were 3 wide, however. Take a look here as the replay as Iglesias up on the high side. Oh, there was contact right there between Spindola and Christian Wilson. They got together and Christian bounced off that 68 car and got up into Jesus Iglesias. Take a look at this another time here. As right here we see these guys really, one coming up the track, one going down the track a little bit. I think it was a little bit more the 30 car coming up, or going down there, but and then, oh man, Iglesias had nowhere to go on that one. Go on board here with him. He just riding along. He's up on the high line. He sees it now 3 wide, and he's going to see a whole lot of that 30 car right there, and then getting into the wall, and he's cleaning the trash on the inside of the wall. So Sean Jacobs is the race leader. Ricky Emerson coming in the chat session. It looks like Iglesias got stuck in the wall there, and we saw that car was through the wall. That's the wonderful, the beauty of this game as well. So we got some guys making pit stops here. Pretty busy pit lane. Take a look at our side-by-side here. We'll take a look at Preston Hassel on that right side there, and Colin Mattiak, I believe we are following on the, actually Sean Jacobs, I believe we are following on the left side camera there. The one where nothing's working today. Jachalowski might have made a 2-tire stop. He got out. Good battle there between the 13 and the 91 car. Lucas Simpner staying out here, and I think he's probably going to get his lap led maybe and come down pit lane. So the 21, Lucas Simpson coming down pit lane. That gives the race lead to the 94, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Sean Jacobs is in second. Excuse me, Paulo Chachalowski. Sorry about that. I was looking at Claudio's name about that time. Paulo Chachalowski, the race leader. Sean Jacobs in second. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is in third. Colin Mattiak fourth. Preston Hassel now comes out in the fifth position. Jim Willis in sixth. Arthur Vieta will start in the seventh position. Chris Hughes eighth. John Stanley will start in the ninth position. Reese Canaday will start 10th. Good little deal for Reese Canaday. I know we had some damage there. Got to come down pit lane, get that fixed, and now comes back out in the 10th position. So Bardelli Jr. now back to that third position, and a good battle there with Colin Mattiak coming off pit lane. So Chachalowski, the 94 car, will lead the field to take this green flag. One caution flag about 20 laps in.
It'll be one to go this time, bud.
So getting to one to go. Ready to go back green here. Chachalowski's elected to take that inside line. We'll give the outside to the 24 of Sean Jacobs. See the 91 Bardelli Jr. going to start on the inside line. Colin Mattiak will start on the outside line there in row 2. Preston Hassel starts inside row 3. Jim Willis will start in the outside row 3. Vieta and Hughes starting in 7th and 8th. Pace car is going to come off track this time. Here we go, getting ready to go back green. Things all bunched up here again. Here we go, back to green. Jacobs maybe trying to do a little side drafting on that 94 car. Saw Sean Jacobs pretty strong on the restart on this outside line. Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in that 4th position. He is trying to now get around Sean Jacobs. Look at this, Bardelli Jr. on the inside, and he's getting racy there with Preston Hassel. Watching him kind of out of the corner of my eye, and now picking up a spot there, and he's going to look to try to get around Sean Jacobs. This battle for the race leader, Chachalowski in the 13 of Colin Mattiak. Colin Mattiak drifting way up the track there, and he might get a good run here coming off the turn. Side by side down the backstretch, the 94 and the 13. Paulo Chachalowski on that 94 car. The 13 of Colin Mattiak on the outside line. He's got a little bit of an edge right now over the 94 car and tucks in. Sean Jacobs going to the high side. He's going to try to, oh man, it's getting close right here. He and Chachalowski getting after it. 94 fighting back on the inside. 24 Sean Jacobs up on the outside line. Now switching down to the inside, Pete giving it a peek. Got to do a little protection right there as the 91. Bardelli Jr. looking to try to get around. This front 4 looking very, very racy. Take a look at Chris Hughes here in the 7 car. Battling Preston Hassel. That Arthur Vieta in that 4. Vieta running in the 7th position. Chris Hughes in the 7 car running in P6. 27 of Preston Hassel is running in 5th. Things are getting a little wild here on these restarts. Chachalowski here looking at Colin Mattiak there on the inside line. Chachalowski trying to get around, and he does. He picks up the race lead as now Colin Mattiak having to deal with Sean Jacobs. So the 94, Paulo Chachalowski back to the race lead. Mattiak looking like he wants to get around, and he's going to pick up this spot. Chachalowski now battling Sean Jacobs. Bardelli Jr. is going to go through as well. Preston Hassel is going to make his way through. Run a little bit behind there, but I think Preston Hassel is going to make this pass on the 94. So this 94 having an issue right now. Losing positions. I tell you what, Chachalowski battling back on the high side. He says, no can do, man. You're going to have to do better than that, Preston Hassel. These guys are getting after it. Look at that, the 4 car of Artavieta up on the high side. He's battling Preston Hassel now. They're going to go 3 wide here if they're not careful. Chachalowski going down to the bottom side to block that 27. He's going to leave the door open for the 4 car. 27 and the 4 right now battling it out. Christian Wilson in the 30 car. Givaldo Spindola in the 68. Oh, Givaldo climbing up the track there and smacking the wall as the 30 car. Christian Wilson trying to get by. Christian Wilson makes that pass. Givaldo smacks the wall there in that 68 car. We get a yellow flag here. Now, I had a feeling that was coming, man. Those guys were just absolutely getting after it up front. And we'll see what happened here. Wow, man, that was intense right there. Very, very intense. Looks like maybe Preston Hassel might have been involved. He and Artavieta were getting after it here. Take a look here as 7 car 27 gets might be a little contact right there. Oh. And then the 30 gets caught up in that as well. The 94 gets caught up in that. Man, they were just racing so hard. And I had a feeling something like that may happen. Go back and look at this again here as the 27. See him off the turn. He's getting a little bit squirrely right there. The back end of that car's coming around, and he snaps around. And then slides up that track. And right there is the 94 car. And he comes across the nose of the 94. And he comes around, and some guys really did a good job. Oh, the 30 car just had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go for the 30 car. Watch this on board here with the 30, Christian Wilson, and he's just going to run out of room right here. He's making contact with both of them. He just had nowhere to go, man. Things closed up on him. Shows that line, and then they filled it. Again, take a look out of the front of Preston Hassel. You see he gets loose right there, and he comes back across and gets into the 94 car. Take a look at Chachalowski out of the front of his machine. Looks like he might have gotten into the that 27 car right there. Hard to say. It's really hard to see it from that perspective. Right here. Yeah, he makes a little contact right there with him and gets him loose and then spins out. So probably have to call that one on the 94 car. It was a tough break there, but he did make contact with him in the back end of the car. So we got some pit stops underway here. Lucas Simpler staying out again in that 21 car. Iglesias joining us in the chat session. A little frowny face, man. He got stuck in the wall. Got stuck in the wall, and we had to have the emergency safety crew extract him from his car and the wall, repair the wall. And fortunately, no fans were hurt. Hey, coming up tomorrow, the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series will be in action at Road Atlanta. It's race number 5 of that season, and it may be a little rainy at Road Atlanta tomorrow. So the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series coming off an exciting, maybe a little bit of a controversial race at Daytona last week, and tempers were flaring. That actually kind of spilled over throughout the week here on our Discord server. So hopefully those guys got it worked out, shook hands, and get ready to get back after it here at Road Atlanta. Going to need a lot of patience at this track, but it'll be live tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeftTV. That's the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. So Iglesias with the frowny face. Ricky Emerson, good win, Paul. Paul's not running, Ricky. Come on, man. Look at the standings, bro. Man, eventful race there. I've had a little bit of a challenge here with this, with my overlays. I just cannot, for some reason, get it to work on this machine. We've had a little bit of, we switched over from the old the new UI back over to the old. That shouldn't have mattered, but like I said, if anybody watching this that has rFactor 2 probably goes, yeah, I get it. I get it. So unfortunately, that's how things work sometimes with this game. It was working, and then all of a sudden decided to stop working. So not exactly sure what's going on with it, but we're trying to do our best here with a backup overlay. So not as pretty, but still serves the purpose. You can see the standings there. Just we're not going to have some of the other eye candy in the race. It's been a good race here so far. We're on our second caution flag here, lap 33, scheduled to go 98 laps. But it's been a fun race, man. These guys have been up on the wheel, on the edge of their seat since the drop of the green flag, and pretty aggressive driving, I will say. But you got to make some moves here, man. Track position's everything at this track, and it is tough on tires. The outside line will work. The inside line's fair game as well. So we see the 21 here making a pit stop, and that's going to give the race lead to the Claudio Bardelli Jr. Arthur Vieira will start in the second position. But track position's everything here at this track. It is tough to pass. I got to really set that up to make a pass, but you can use the high side, can use the low side, and here we are going to bottle these cars up again and get some exciting side-by-side close racing. So thanks for joining us here, Jesus. Sorry about your luck, man, but definitely come on back next week, and you're welcome anytime. Hopefully see you out there for the GT3 Series race tomorrow. Bring your, what do they call those in Australia? The rubbers? I don't know what they call them in down in South America, but we call them galoshes. Your rain boots. Bring your rain boots and your raincoat. Might be a little rainy at Road Atlanta tomorrow in the GT3 Series. So we're getting them lined back up. We're going green this time by 91. The outside line, Archie Vieira is going to start on the inside line. So interesting lane choice there for the 91 car. That puts Jim Willis in the third position on the inside line, and Sean Jacobs in the 24 will start in fourth. Colin Mattiak on the inside line there, row 3. Outside row 3 is John Stanley. John Staple Gun Stanley. All right, the pace car is in, getting ready to get after it here again.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, that 4 car got a heck of a jump there on that start. So the 4 of Arthur Vieira to the race lead. Look at that, Jim Willis moving up, getting around the 91 car. 91 tucks in the third position. Jim Willis now up to P2. Arthur Vieira, our race leader. So good racing right there. Sean Jacobs now back to that 5th position. You see just ahead of him, Colin Mattiak in 4th. Tell you what, I know Sean's an excellent race car driver. Don't get me wrong there, but I think my mantra, as we take a look at Sean Jacobs here in the 24 car, my mantra would be, hey, let's follow that 13 car through. He seems to be able to find a way to get back to that front. And John Stanley in the 12 car working this outside line. We got a yellow flag here. Another yellow flag, and I hear him wrecking. So we're crash here, bring out a yellow, quickie caution there. '68 car in the grass. So something's going on with the '68 car. Chachalowski a little bit off pace, so word has it those two might have gotten together. Buschwackers also, I think he might have been involved there too, so maybe a 3-car incident. Take a look and see what happened here. This is a '68 in the '94. These guys side by side, and looks like that '68 car might have gotten into, oh man, he ran that '94 into the wall. He's sideways, and then 3X has nowhere to go right here. Those guys sliding through that track there, '68 down in the grass. Hard to say there, man. The '68 car looked like he might have moved up, but '94 might have come down there too. And then the 3X, Gilmar Peixoto, just absolutely has nowhere to go. Go on board here with Chachalowski. This is actually a little bit too early here. Go on board here with Givaldo. And then 3X car annihilates them. Yeah, nowhere to go, man. Just absolutely nowhere to go. Things happen so quickly. See if we can get a shot out of Lucas' car. Actually, we might have to go another car ahead. Here we go. Another car ahead. Those look like Givaldo might have come up the track there and got into that '94 car. We'll back it up. I don't like to do it this way. It's kind of Bush League, but take a look here. Looks like that '68 car might have come up the track there and gotten into the '94. What a tough break there. So quick caution there, bunching those cars up together. But that's the way it happens sometimes. 38 laps in, we got 60 laps to go. This guy's got, the intensity level's been pretty high, man, since the drop of the green flag. This guy's gonna have to probably simmer down just a little bit. Some of these guys look like they may be staying out, so interesting decision on their part, because he only got a few laps there on those tires, so you might be all right. Track position pretty important here.
Pit road will be open this time.
Well, looky there. I finally figured it out. With a little help from a friend. I'll be darned. You know, here I was. I got to apologize to Studio 397. I'll be darned. Reese Kennedy retiring his machine. Unfortunately, sure what happened to him, but Jim Willis has done a good job of getting that car up to the second position. Really got to be pretty impressed there with Jim Willis tonight in that 53 car. He's gotten the car up to P2, and just, you know, he's taking the chances when he's needed to take the chances, and just gotten that car up there up front and looking pretty solid there for Jim Willis. How about Colin Mattiak running in third, and Christian Wilson in the 30 car running in fourth right now. So getting the one to go. .53 is going to the outside line. Vieta has elected to take that inside line. This has been a little aggressive, man. Maybe too much caffeine. Is that possible? As I'm drinking a coffee at, what time is it here? 10 o'clock at night. Nah, you only live once, right? You only live once, so enjoy it. I like coffee. Good stuff. Well, here we go. We're getting ready to go back green, and Vieta on the inside line will lead this field to take the green flag.
Go, go, go.
Here we go, back to green. Start lap 42 when we cross the line. And Willis up on the high line has already given up 2 spots. So I see the 13 and 24. And I think Jim Willis on the older tires there. And I suspect that Arjun Vieta is going to fall victim to the 13 and the 24 as well, because they came in and got fresh tires. 91 Bardelli Jr. also fresh tires. So Jim Willis now back to the 5th position. He's going to be hanging on here a little bit, I think. On board here with Jim Willis. He's looking to try to take that spot back. He said, hey, man, I'm going to get back up on the edge of this seat, and I'm a little fired up. I lost a couple positions there. Colin Mattiak now back to the race lead as he's gotten around Arthur Vieta. So Mattiak not fooling around. We'll take a look at that pass there as a 13, getting around the 4. 4 car now back to the 2nd position. And this is getting crazy right here, the 53 and the 91. 53 wants to get that spot back. He lost 3 spots on that restart, and now back to the 5th position. Chachalowski up on the high side there. Christian Wilson, that 30 car on the inside line. Chachalowski's got to Preston Hassel down there as well. Chachalowski in that 94, you know, he's got a little bit of damage on that machine. He's been to, in a few of those accidents. The 30 car on the inside line. Christian Wilson showing some muscle here. Running in the 7th position. Take a look at Christian Wilson in the 30 car running in P7. Just behind him, John Stanley. He and Preston Hassel side by side. Preston Hassel, that AMD Ryzen sponsor, machine number 27, holding on to that spot. John Stanley now in 9th as Hassel running in the 8th position. Chris Hughes in the 7 car getting by the 68. Givaldo Spindola taking over the 12th position. Now up to the 11th spot. With this, 24, Sean Jacobs. Artur Vieira battling it out. Sean Jacobs on the inside line. Oh, these guys are going to go 3 wide. Oh, man, there was almost contact right there between the 13 and the 24. 4 car getting back by. Sean Jacobs to the race lead in that Western Auto sponsor machine. That NASCAR BR number 4, Artur Vieira, running in P2. And that is a hornet's nest back there. That is very, very tight, man. Not a lot of opportunity for error. Artur Vieira running in P2. We're looking out of the back of the Western Auto sponsor machine at Artur Vieira. I'll tell you what, man, anybody can win this race out of that front 5-6 cars. These guys all in play to win this race. Got a long way to go. 24 and the 4 battling it out. How about this? Jim Willis battling Paulo Chachalowski. Clayton Perkins coming in here, joining us. How about that? I haven't seen you, Clayton. You're going to have to come by the room, man. Come by and visit sometime. You can see you in passing sometimes in the hallway, and it'd be nice to have a little conversation with you sometime, man. Hope you're having a good year, and definitely come by and see me. 53, Jim Willis. Looking at that 91 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. He was battling the 94 of Chachalowski. Chachalowski there as probably a little bit of damage off the pace just a little bit, but Jim Willis here looking to see if he can't reclaim those spots. So that front 3 been changing positions a little bit. Out there is Christian Wilson, 27, Preston Hassel, and the 12 of John Stanley. John Stanley down to the inside line, battling Christian Wilson. John Stanley going to take that spot. So this Stanley Tools sponsored Ford Mustang now going to hook up here. 3 Fords working together, try to climb back up there and latch onto that front group. Hassel running in the 7th spot. John Stanley in the 12 car running in P8. Take a look at Lucas Simpner here in the 21 car in that Flex Seal sponsored Mustang. He's running in the 10th position. Trying to lock onto those guys up there. He keeps pitting, dropping back to the back, but getting those fresh tires.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Get a yellow flag here. Yellow flag as see Mattiak dropping back there. So something's happened to him. We'll see what happened. Things are getting racy, I believe. Take a look here. This is... oh, man, Vieira got into the back of the 13 car. Oh, and they're up the track. And then he comes back across the track and into Paulo Chachalowski. So there was contact between he and Artur Vieira. He's kind of climbing up the track just a little bit. Vieira's got a head of steam on the outside, and right there, contact. The 4 and the 13, and then into the wall goes the 4 car. The 13 bounces off him and right into the path of Chachalowski. Go on board here with Chachalowski, and we'll watch this unfold here ahead. You watch that 4 car in the 13. And those guys get together and slide up the track. Watch this 13 just right across the front of Chachalowski's machine. So yeah, man, that just got crazy. Chachalowski's had nowhere to go. 53, Jim Willis avoided disaster on this one. See that black car, that 53 car. You see all of that. Bardelli Jr. also is able to slide by there, but we see that 13 getting turned, and then Jim Willis just slips on through in that 53 car. Wow. Jim Willis, watch this, on board here with him. And things going to unfold there. And he just averts disaster. I don't even think he realized how close he was to getting taken out. And just kept on trucking right there. And those guys go for a ride. Wowza. I think the guy's getting a little aggressive here. A little aggressive, I think.
Pit road will be open this time. That car.
Sean Jacobs here coming down pit lane, so I see a lot of those front runners coming down to take some fresh tires, get some fuel. Western Auto sponsored Chevy Camaro here in the 24. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in that 91 car, also in a Camaro. These guys tucking into their pit stalls. Get a good look at the battle off pit lane. Chachalowski looking like he may have just done a two-tire stop for some track position. John Stanley also getting a good pit stop there. He might have done a two-tire stop as well. So a lot of these guys looks like those front runners opted to take 4 tires. So interesting there. 24 are going to come out back out in the 5th position for now. I would suggest you that Lucas Sinfner is going to come back down pit lane. So I think the 94 Chachalowski on 2 tires is going to be our race leader here once the 21 car makes a pit stop.
Pit road will be open this time.
So wow, this has been interesting, man. We've had a lot of caution flags here, and it's not a difficult track to drive, but it is very hard to really pull off a pass on somebody. I mean, both lines are pretty equal in speed, and that can probably factor in, as maybe to why some of these guys are getting caught up in some incidents, because they're really pushing that car side by side and trying to gain every inch that they possibly can, and it's translating into some crashes. Well, remember, our keys to the race here were save those tires. That hasn't happened. I'm telling you right now, that has not happened. Pick your spots. Yeah. Maybe they thought they picked their spots, but these guys are taking some pretty risky moves here. On point, on pit stops. We really have not had anything to resemble a green flag pit stop. And then find a friend. Ain't no friends out here tonight, I can tell you that. Ain't nobody listening to my keys. Do these people watch the broadcast? So none of these things are being followed. I'm telling you that right now. There's no saving tires. There's no picking your spots. It is just trying to get everything you can. No green flag pit stops here. Just been, I think, some guys have done some 2-tire stops on the yellow flag pit stops, and then there are no friends out there on the track right now. Nobody is working with each other. These guys are just trying to get every inch they possibly can at any point they possibly can. So these keys to the race, I think, clearly not being followed tonight. Hey, we're going to have to call them all into the trailer after the race and show them the keys to the race and say, okay, boys, this is where you were supposed to be doing here. Sinfner coming down pit lane. John Stanley coming down pit lane here. I'm just giving these guys the crap. These guys beat me any day on the track, so that's for sure. Chachalowski is the race leader. Follow Chachalowski, going to start in P1. Looks like he's elected to go to that inside line. So the 94 there will start in P1. That Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start in the second position. Sean Jacobs starts inside row 2, 53. Jim Willis outside row 2. Artur Vieira will start inside row 3. The 30, Christian Wilson, keeping that car up front tonight, starting in 6th on this restart. Hey, don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder coming up tomorrow at Watkins Glen International. 35 laps. That great road course, classic road course. This is really the only road course I think I like in stock cars. At least the rFactor 2 sim, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of any other road course in this sim other than in this particular mod. But Watkins Glen sort of makes the grade for me. So race number 6, and that's Saturday Night Thunder. And you want to come out and beat the broadcaster, you can come on out tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Cup Series. High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. That's been a great series, man. It really has. Been a great race last week at Bristol.
Green flag.
All right, back to green. Here we go. Chachalowski on 2 tires. He got a great start. Bardelli Jr. didn't get on the horse there. He's dropped back on that outside line. Sean Jacobs going to pick up P2. And now look at that. Sean Jacobs at the inside line. There's 94, Paulo Chachalowski up on the outside line. Remember, just a 2-tire stop for him. Bardelli Jr. in the 91, 4-tire stop for him. He's going to try to make this pass as well. Sean Jacobs has gotten by the 91. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is going to try to get by here. 40 laps to go. We got 40 laps to go. My gosh. What is it, Sunday already? Bardelli Jr. not able to pull off that pass yet as Chachalowski fighting back. Got a good run on the outside line. Oh, a little bit of a bump there into the back of the 24 car. Scrubbing off some speed now. Sean Jacobs got a little help, quote unquote help, from the 94. Follow Chachalowski. Chachalowski, remember, on older tires. He's on that outside line. We're kind of watching him. He's been around a lot of cars here tonight. 4-car Artur Vieira down to the inside line. 53, Jim Willis going to try to follow him through. Vieira now picking up that spot. Looking out of the back of Artur Vieira's machine. You see Jim Willis trying to sneak through. Colin Mattiak trying to bounce back there. And Jim Willis now racing it out. Jim Willis holding on to that spot. Jim Willis now running in P4. He's pretty strong here tonight. Jim Willis showing some strength here at Chicagoland. See Mattiak in the 13. Try to, Jim Willis there scrubbed off some speed. As now Chachalowski down to the inside. He's going to take a peek. Willis there holding on to that spot. I think that 2 tires for Chachalowski definitely in play there for him. Look at this, Bardelli Jr. trying to take the race lead here. Claudio Bardelli Jr. Now to the race front, Artur Vieira helping his brother out, the Brazilians. 1-2. Sean Jacobs now back to 3rd. As Vieira running in P2. Claudio Bardelli Jr. leading some laps here. Givaldo Spindle in the 68 car. Lucas Simpsoner in the 21 on the outside line. Givaldo trying to make this pass. He's going to get by that 21 car. So Givaldo in the 68. Now up to P11. Chachalowski and Jim Willis getting after it here. Colin Mattiak just watching this, trying to find out who he's going to pick to go through. Chachalowski picking up that spot as Jim Willis now trying to hold on to keep Colin Mattiak from getting around. Those guys are side by side, keeping them honest here. These two guys there racing it out. Good racing there as 13 looks like he's got the advantage. Oh, Jim Willis almost slides up there into the 13 car. The 13 picks up that spot. So Colin Mattiak getting by Jim Willis, taking over P5. Jim Willis now back to the 6th position. Bardelli Jr. still leading the field as Arthur Vieta in P2. Sean Jacobs in 3rd. Chachalowski now climbing back up here. He is really doing a great job on these older tires. Chachalowski now getting by Sean Jacobs. Oh! That is crazy close right there as Chachalowski in the 94 car and the 24 of Sean Jacobs almost get into one another. Looking out the front of Colin Mattiak's machine, you see that 24 and the 94 side by side. That is P3, P4. Sean Jacobs in the 24 car, the 94 Paulo Chachalowski. Those guys get pretty tight there through the tri-oval. Colin Mattiak trying to figure out who in the world am I going to follow through here. These guys racing side by side. That's going to let that P1, P2 get away from him a little bit. 24 cannot get the run that he needs on the inside line. Chachalowski using that outside line. I think Sean Jacobs would be better off. Oh, and there's contact right there. The 94 and the 24 get together. Colin Mattiak, a little bit of a evasive move to keep from getting into those guys. So the 24 and the 94, watch this, man. This is getting a little dicey. 94 hold on to that spot. I think the 24 might be a little spooked. 24 going back down to the inside line. I think if I was a 24, I'd go to the outside line and just say, hey, man, I'm going to wait for him to make a little mistake, give me an opening. I'm going to the outside line. Got to be my, knowing that I have fresher tires than him. But I tell you what, Chachalowski is doing a great job on these older tires. He's got a 2-tire stop for the 94 car. So got out, had a lightning fast pit stop because he got 2 tires and got out ahead of the field. Christian Wilson and Chris Hughes battling it out. Christian Wilson on the inside line, the 7 of Chris Hughes. Up on the outside line, Christian Wilson in that 30 car going to follow John Stanley. Now picking up the 9th position. Chris Hughes back to 10th. Good run in there between a couple of our new drivers. Take a look at Jim Willis here now. A little bit of a gap there. He and Preston Hassel battling for 6th and 7th. John Stanley in this mix as well. John Stanley running in P8. The 12 car. Those guys side by side just ahead of him. Almost get into one another. 53 and the 27. Good battling there between the two of those guys. John Stanley going to try to sneak around this 53 car. 53 going to use that outside line there. Going to get a little bit of speed coming through the turn. It's hard for the inside line to really get a bite coming off the turn, and they scrub off some speed. So I think that outside line right now seems to be the preferred line here late in this race. Christian Wilson going to get by John Stanley. So John Stanley going to that inside line, going to give up some spots there, and I think you're just going to have to go to that mid to high line to be able to gain some positions here. Take a look at Gilmar Peixoto in the 3X machine. He's had a pretty eventful race here tonight. Got caught up in somebody else's incident. He's got some pretty heavy front end damage he's had repaired on that machine. So right now the 3X machine running in P13. To see Gilmar out though. Always enjoy him coming out and racing with us. We got a good battle here as Sean Jacobs now battling again. The 94 car's got a little bit of help with the 13. And again, that inside line just cannot get the bite that you need to be able to pull off that pass. He does have a little bit of drafting help now. Chachalowski's up on that outside line and kind of stuck behind Bardelli Jr. now as the 4 car has gotten around. Vieta now to the race lead. 24, Sean Jacobs going to get by Bardelli Jr. And now Sean Jacobs going to the outside line. Kind of bails on Colin Mattiak. Mattiak down to the inside. Oh, man, I tell you what, I think Chachalowski got into the wall right there. 94 got into the wall. He scrubbed off some speed. And, oh, man, it's going to get crazy. Oh, my God, Chachalowski. He's going to come around. He's going to catch it. He's going to come down pit lane. Oh, I think I'll just pit the car. Chachalowski's coming down. I think he's going to end up retiring his machine. He does DNF it. I think he might have gotten upset. Not sure, but that got a little crazy right there. That got a little crazy. Man, that, take a look at here. John Stanley out of the front of his machine, and you see, oh, John Stanley just had nowhere to go. Chachalowski was almost stopped on the track. John Stanley had nowhere to go and got into the back of him. We'll take a look at this again. This is John Stanley. He could not get out of the way because Chris Hughes is just below him. He had nowhere to go. Chachalowski trying to catch this thing, and John Stanley just gets into the side of him right there. And Chachalowski comes around, but John Stanley had nowhere to go on that. There was just no way of avoiding that. Let's take a look at this. This is the 30 car. And the 94 is off pace right there. And I don't know what, he's just maybe what's going on there. Maybe he was trying to pit. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but and he was a whole lot of crazy going on there. Chachalowski way off the pace right there. And then those guys are doing a great job avoiding, but John Stanley, wrong place, wrong time, and gets into the 94 car. There might have been a little bit of contact, if not no contact, but Chachalowski comes out the loser on that deal. Look at this, Bardelli Jr. and Sean Jacobs here battling it out. Bardelli Jr., Sean Jacobs is complaining about his tires being used up. And the 91 going to get back by, and now pick up P3. Sean Jacobs back to the 4th position. Look at this. This is the pass for the race lead here as Colin Mattiak. Remember, he was sort of working that a little bit with that car, and he backed off a little bit, and now he used those fresher tires or those better tires to take the race lead as Vieira on the outside line going to concede this spot to the 13 car. So the 13 of Colin Mattiak to the race leader on lap 78. Preston Hassel here in the 27 car, battling that 24. So the 24 complaining about those tires. He's used those tires up, really battling, trying to get by Bardelli Jr. and Chachalowski. Peixoto here picking up a spot as I think Jim Willis has come down pit lane. Jim Willis making a pit stop here. Jim Willis finishing up that pit stop, coming back out on track. '24 car indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane very, very soon. Gilmar there, almost getting into the wall. It's a word that he's a little tight. Sean Jacobs indicating he's coming down pit lane. You see Preston Hassel coming down pit lane, so we're finally getting some green flag pit stops here. And pit going into turn 3, coming around on the apron. A little bit on the brakes there for the 24 car to come down pit lane. Chris Wilson also coming down pit lane. Archie Vieira the race lead. 21 car indicating he's coming down pit lane. So Archie Vieira the race leader at 4 car, and he's coming down pit lane. See those guys on pit lane. 27, 24, 13, all on pit lane. Archie Vieira, the race leader. Bardelli Jr. following him down pit lane. So the race leaders all coming down pit lane. Colin Mattiak now coming back out on track after making his pit stop, so a little faster than the rest of these guys on that pit stop. So Colin Mattiak to the race lead. Bardelli Jr. on pit lane, Vieira on pit lane, Stanley, Hughes on pit lane, Spindle on pit lane. As Colin Mattiak finishing up that pit stop here on lap 82. The race leader, 1.5 second lead over Jim Willis. And Willis been fast tonight here, so we'll kind of keep our eye on that time and see how that changes. So he's holding serve here, 1.5, 1.6 seconds behind Colin Mattiak. See that battle there between P1, P2 at 1.5, 1.6 gap between the two of them. What a huge win this would be for the 53 car. Sort of a part-time racer with us, but a pretty loyal racer here at HORL now. Really good to see him come over here and race with us. Jim Willis running right now, running in P2. We'll take a look at him running in that second position. So this would mean a lot to him to get a race win. P3 pretty tight. P3, 4, and 5. 27, 24, and the 4. 27, that AMD sponsor machine. Preston Hassel running in the third position. Good side-by-side battle there between Sean Jacobs and Artevieta. These guys battling it out. Artevieta going to pick up that spot. Sean Jacobs now back to the 5th spot. Artevieta now in P4. Got to think Artevieta, as much strength as he's shown here tonight, he's going to really give this 27 car a lot of fits. So that 4 car trying to get around the 27. Artevieta trying to look for a way to get around this 27 car. He knows he's faster. He's just trying to find a way to get around the 27 car. Board here with Artevieta as the 27 of Preston Hassel on that outside line. Vieta here trying to figure out a way to get around this 27 so he can close in. He's definitely faster right now. He gives that 27 car a little bit of a shove there to let him know, hey, I am here. Now he looks like he's got that quarter panel under the 27. The 27 now going to give him some room as the 4 car going to make his way through. Hassel, they're going to try to tuck in between the 24 and the 4. And the 4 car gets by the 27, sets his sights on that 53. 27 of Preston Hassel on that outside line is a 24. Sean Jacobs going to try to get through, looking out of the front. Preston Hassel's machine, that 24 gets through. So Preston now back to the 5th position. Good top 5 run here for Preston. 27 AMD Ryzen sponsored Ford Mustang. 24 Sean Jacobs now up to P4. Colin Mattiak continuing to lead the field here as laps winded down here. Lap 88 of 98. Mattiak the leader. Willis in second has closed that gap a little bit. Vieta is in 3rd. Jacobs 4th. Hassel is 5th. Bardelli Jr. back to the 6th position. Wilson is 7th, Stanley 8th, Hughes 9th, and Spindola rounding out the top 10. Spindola in that lucky dog position. Tell you what, man, this is an important race here tonight. Take a look at those standings coming into tonight's race, and Bardelli Jr. just a 7-point lead over Mattiak. Mattiak with the race win could, maybe pop into the race lead or at least close that gap, maybe even tie Bardelli Jr. with just 2 races to go. Robillard not here tonight, coming into tonight in the 3rd position. Simpner in 4th. Coming into tonight, Vieta 5th in points. So this could be a huge point tonight for Colin Mattiak. 2.7 second gap. No, so he's starting to open up that gap a little bit. So the 13 of Colin Mattiak, man, he had to really work to get back up front. He's been in traffic all night long, but now here late in the race, the 13 getting their car to the front and now starting to run away from the field. Jim Willis in 2nd. So now in in third. Vieta is in second. Jacobs in third. And that's a pretty tight battle there between Vieta and Jim Willis. And we've got Preston Hassel, Sean Jacobs in this mix. So look at this. This is the battle for the second position right here. Remember, Vieta had gotten around Preston Hassel. Sean Jacobs didn't got around him, and now they've closed in on Jim Willis here, and these guys are ganging up on him. Come on, man. Give him a break. Jim Willis is a good guy. So Jim Willis here running on the outside line here, and he probably pushed that car pretty hard. Sean Jacobs is going to get by, and Jim Willis hanging on here so far, but Preston Hassel trying to get by. So good battles here, man. This is a heck of a race here with these guys. Is now Sean Jacobs getting around Artur Vieta, or trying to get around Artur Vieta. This is for the second position. These guys battling it out. What these guys want really is a caution flag here to close this back up, give themselves a shot at Colin Mattiak. And Colin saying, don't even say that, man. As a four-car gets by, Jim Willis going to battle back on the outside line. Heck of a run there by Jim Willis, getting by Sean Jacobs in the 24. Preston Hassel going to try to get by. So, Jim Willis back up to the third position. How quickly these positions can change here. What a heck of a run here for those guys. Great battling going on back there in that field. There's Colin Mattiak continuing to lead here on lap 95. He's got a 3.9 second lead, just extending that lead as long as these guys get side by side. They're battling it out, and that's all she wrote there for him. He's going to end up pulling this victory off unless there's a caution flag, dare I say. Close things back up. What a heck of a race there, but for P2. Jacobs battling back on the outside line. Willis there now back to in the fourth in line in that group. So that's how quickly this can change. Preston Hassel in that mix. So what a heck of a run there for those guys, man. This is a good way to finish this race after a little bit of a mess, about first half of the race. We're going to cross the line here. 13 is going to have 2 laps to go. As these guys are battling it out. Vieta and 24, Sean Jacobs. 20. Oh, the four car and the 24 get a little bit swapping some paint right there. Come on now, that's going to make the Camaro guys all mad. You guys are supposed to be on the same manufacturer's team. They play nice there. The Camaro, the GM boys are going to send out some angry emails. Across the start-finish line, 1 lap to go for Colin Mattiak. Still haven't figured it out for P2. Some good battling there. Jacobs holding his own there on the outside line. He's got a little bit of an edge there coming off the turn. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's been a busy race, that's for sure. Colin Mattiak coming off the final turn. And it looks like he's going to come away with a victory here at Chicagoland. So Colin Mattiak getting that race win. And Artur Vieta finishes in third. Jim Willis in fourth. Preston Hassel gets a 5th place finish. Wow. What a heck of a run there. That was good, man. A little bit of a messy race there early on, but they figured it out later in the race, and ended up being a good one for those guys. Get a little bit of a watch him do his burnout. Honest Speed Shop number 13 car. It's hard to do move the camera around because when they change position, it changes the command that you're giving the camera, basically. So congratulations to Colin on getting that race win. Good run for him. My heavens, man, that was a crazy race. We'll see if we can't get the final results for you. Colin Mattiak gets the race win. Sean Jacobs finishes in P2. Arthur Vieira finishes in the 3rd position. Jim Willis finishes in 4th. Finishing in the 5th position of Preston Hassel. Claudio Bartelli Jr. finishes in 6th. Christian Wilson 7th. John Stanley finishes in the 8th position. Givaldo Spindola finishes in 9th. Chris Hughes in the 7 car finishes in the 10th position. Finishing in the 11th position is Gilmar Peixoto. Lucas Simpner finishes in 12th. Paulo Chachalowski finishes in the 13th position. Reese Kennedy finishes 14th. And Jesus Iglesias finishes in the 15th position. Man, that was a wild race there. We had a few caution flags, but did a good job there of getting things sorted out there for a good run to the end of the race. So 2 in a row for the whippersnapper. The team's got to be pretty happy, pretty excited, so congratulations to him. We'll see if we can't get him in the booth here and get an interview with him. Glad we finally figured that overlay. I'd like to apologize to Studio 397. I actually edited the JSON file and forgot a quotation mark. We'll see if we can't get Colin Mattiak up here in the booth with us. All right, Colin Mattiak joining us up here in the booth. 2 in a row for the whippersnapper. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that was a pretty ugly race there, I think, early on. It had some bright spots, I think. It was pretty fun, I would imagine. They were racing side by side with some of those guys, but hard to pass, tight racing. But you got yourself back up front there at the end and were able to run away from them. Talk a little bit about how that race went from your perspective.
Yeah, this track isn't. It's a very difficult track to race on. There's one big groove. There's not really a high line and a low line, so the racing's always extremely close, and it sometimes can bring out a lot of cautions, especially late in the run with the tires going off the cliff. But it was all just about managing tires and managing the car's overall health and not wrecking it, just getting to the end.
Yeah, it just seemed like as hard as it was to pass, you really had to take some chances to try to get around somebody, or maybe just be a little patient and hopefully they burn up their tires, as we saw some guys do, and then gain some spots. You know, this win here is going to give you a little bit of a bump there, a little bit closer battle now with Bartelli Jr. coming into the last 2 races. Any feelings on Indianapolis next week? If I have a feeling you like that track. I'll be honest with you.
I do like that track a lot. It's a lot of fun to get right, and it's annoying to get wrong, but it's very, very fun to race on, and it's a great challenge.
Well, Atlanta Motor Speedway is the final race of the season, so you got Indy and then Atlanta, very different tracks, but also I think they're similar in the sense that they're a lot of fun to drive, and I'm guessing you like Atlanta as well.
I like Atlanta. It's a little scary. It's like a super speedway, but condensed, and it's a lot of close racing, and the transfer from the low line to the high line halfway through the stint is very, very fun to deal with.
Well, hey, congratulations. It was an exciting race. I said the back half of that race was really very, very exciting, and good to see you back in victory lane, and congratulations to you.
Thank you, Heath.
All right, man. We'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, that's Colin Mattiak joining us up here. Look at that! Listen to that professional interview there, man. He's very, very insightful in the tracks and knowing these tracks is going in, and also how this car played out, how this race played out throughout the night. And this is a high school kid, man, really, and he knows a lot about racing. I was trying to tell I teach high school, and I was trying to tell some of my students about sim racing, and they just kind of looked at me like the deer in the headlights look. Most of them don't even know anything about it, and I was like, it's pretty popular, it's a lot of fun, and it's sort of can give them a hint that they come in and watch the race tonight here, and good to see Colin back in victory lane there with his win, and man, that's some momentum. I don't think these other guys want to see coming into this final race, or these final two races here with Indy and then Atlanta here in the Xfinity Series. The Buschwacker Series heating up here with 2 races to go. Well, don't forget, we got a race tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeftTV, and that's the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series, Road Atlanta. 50-minute race there, race number 5 of that season. And 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark it on your calendars tomorrow. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. That's the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. Well, I want to say thank you so much for being patient here with me tonight. We had a little bit of a challenge there. All self-made challenge, I'll be honest with you. Self-created challenge. But, hey, thanks for coming in. And, we ended up having a pretty good race here. I know we got a little bit messy with some of the early cautions, but these guys started figuring it out. As Colin alluded to, it's hard to pass. You got to take some chances, and these guys were definitely doing that throughout the course of the race there. But they got it kind of figured out, and what a great battle there for that second position, that 4-way battle there those guys had. Please hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to go down to the description of this race and follow that link over to the Fanatec website, whether you're in the European theater or the North American theater or that side of the world. Please use my link and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. If you decide you want to purchase something through Fanatec, please use my link and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. I would greatly appreciate that. If you would like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, to me, you can click on the link up in the banner of the channel right here in the YouTube channel and make a donation straight through PayPal. Anything helps and would be greatly appreciated. Really love doing this, man. I look forward to the end of the week, into the work week, to come out here and do some sim racing, broadcast some sim racing. Really do enjoy that, so it's a lot of fun. That's going to do it here for us tonight here on TurnLeftTV. I want to say thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to go up there and talk to my buddies. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.